Hey brothers and sisters, and this is the World News Update. China threatens retaliation after new U.S. arms sales to Taiwan. China threatened on Thursday to retaliate against the latest $1.8 billion U.S. arms sales to Taiwan, as the island welcomed the weapons package but said it was not looking to get into an arms race with Beijing. The Trump administration has ramped up support for Taiwan through the arms sales and visits by senior U.S. officials, adding to tensions between Beijing and Washington, already heightened by disagreements over the South China Sea, Hong Kong, the coronavirus, and trade. Beijing has applied increasing pressure on democratically ruled Taiwan to accept China's sovereignty, including by flying fighter jets across the sensitive midline of the Taiwan Strait, which normally serves as an unofficial buffer. Pope says homosexuals should be covered by civil union laws. Pope Francis has said that same-sex couples should be protected by civil union laws in some of the clearest language he has used on the rights of gay people since his election 7 years ago. Homosexual people have a right to be in a family. They are children of God and have a right to a family. Nobody should be thrown out or be made miserable over it, he said. What we have to create is a civil union law. That way they are legally covered. I stood up for that, he said. Gantz to discuss issues relating to Israel's security with Esper. Alternate Prime Minister and Defense Minister Benny Gantz took off for Washington on Wednesday to meet with U.S. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper and other U.S. security officials. Gantz is expected to return from his trip on Friday. Wednesday's trip comes 1 month after Gantz's previous meeting with Esper, where he discussed Israel's qualitative military edge, procurement, international policy regarding Iran, including halting Tehran's military aspirations in the region, and Israel's U.S. security cooperation. Ireland to impose 6-week national lockdown estimates 150,000 job losses. Ireland will be the first European country to return to a nationwide shutdown as COVID-19 cases rise. Prime Minister Michael Martin said Monday non-essential retail businesses are ordered to close. Residents are expected to stay within about 3 miles of their homes, except for work and other essential activities. The country is entering its highest level of coronavirus restrictions for 6 weeks, beginning Thursday. The country expects 150,000 people to lose their jobs over the next couple of days, Deputy Prime Minister Leo Varadkar said. Greece likely to become red country next week. Greece will likely be classified as a red country next week, meaning that those returning from Greece will need to enter 2 weeks of quarantine upon arrival in Israel. Health Ministry officials told Channel 12 on Wednesday the decision will likely be made due to increasing coronavirus infection rates in the country and will lead to thousands of Israeli tourists requiring to be quarantined and thousands of others to cancel their planned vacations to Greece. Images reveal Russia is preparing to test nuclear missiles. Images taken from the sky show Russia is preparing to test out nuclear missiles at a previously abandoned launch site. According to reports, new satellite pictures taken by Planet Labs indicate that Russia is preparing to trial flights of its Burevestnik warheads near the Arctic Circle. The pictures shared by researchers at the Middlebury Institute of International Studies indicate high levels of activity at the previously dismantled test site. Plant Lab photos taken on September 20th reportedly show a rebuilt launch pad, a helicopter landing strip, and several shipping containers, researchers Dutzman and Jeffrey Lewis said. UAE citizens allowed to stay in Israel up to 90 days without visa. Citizens of the United Arab Emirates will be able to stay in Israel for up to 90 days on a single visit under a visa exemption agreement that the two countries reached this week, the UAE state news agency WAM said on Thursday. Sudan-Israel normalization announcement likely this weekend. The normalization would be unlikely to happen all at once, unlike in the recent cases of the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, because of the unique circumstances in Sudan. An announcement that Sudan and Israel will begin the process of normalizing ties is imminent, and an Israeli diplomatic source said Thursday after Israeli and American officials visited Khartoum. And that's the World News Update for today, brothers and sisters. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and God bless.